Drew here from Sumified. I sat down with David from Sheets AI to find out who this thing's actually for at the agency level and who should skip it. Thanks everybody for joining the show. We got David from Sheets X AI in the house today.
Hey guys.
Maybe a lot of you don't know what his app is. Been on AppSumo, very successful, like all the apps I go over with the guests. He's a founder. First of all, David, tell me, what is Sheets X AI and what does it do?
Yeah, 1000%. Thank you so much, Drew. So, first of all, hey guys, David here, founder of Sheets AI. Sheet AI, everybody calls it Sheet AI. I call it Sheets AI, or at least that was what I wanted it to be. But essentially what it does is it automates spreadsheets. Our goal is to fully automate spreadsheet workflows for non-technical users. So what that looks like is, let's say you're an agency owner. You're probably a professional and want to remain a professional at marketing or all the other tasks that take all your time. But many times you will catch yourself having to learn random spreadsheet formulas and random spreadsheet information and all these things. Whereas with Sheets AI, you can easily just say, do this, do that, and our AI agent takes over the whole thing for you, right? That way, that's one less skill you need to learn, but it's also one of your most used skills.
Very good. Now, I have, and I try all the tools. I talk to the founders, I try all the tools.
Mhm.
Great tool. I would say if you're a Google guy or even Excel guy for that matter,
Mhm.
this is a must. Don't just go right to
Ah,
AppSumo right now or,
nice.
and get it. The thing I would say is I'm not a Google guy. So I went through the commands and SAI commands and what it could do, but I think it's really for the agency owner who works in the Google workspace or Google atmosphere, deals with Google spreadsheets a lot, has Google Docs. Google Docs has his clients, lists and all that. If you're in that world, don't play around. Just get the app. Stop playing around, okay? And what would you add anything to that?
No, I agree. I agree. Like if you work with spreadsheets at all, really, like if you work with spreadsheets more than once a week, that's the main thing I would say, right? So let's say
Hmm.
you run ads. If you analyze your data in spreadsheets, Sheets AI will be good for that. If spreadsheets are somewhere that you visit at least once a week, there's a high chance Sheets AI could change your life
Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty.
for sure.
Listeners want to know, from an agency standpoint, what this thing could do. First, let's talk about some of the features like white label features. What kind of features would the agency owner be interested in, such as can I sell this as a service to my clients? How does that work?
Yeah, so for selling it as a service to your clients, it's a bit more half and half, right? So here's what you can sell as a service to your clients. When you go in Sheets AI, there's something that we call SCI commands, right? So essentially, that is everything that has to do with content generation. When you set a SCI command, you can sell it to your clients in a way where if they add a new row, it would automatically generate the content for that new role, right? So to your client, they have no idea what the mechanism in the back is about. They just know that every time they've added a new row, it generated content. However, I would say, and in all honesty, I don't think it's probably the best app for white labeling. It's more an internal tool, right? Like it helps you be able to focus on the stuff that actually matters for your company rather than like stealing time from, rather than necessarily it being something you sell to people.
Yeah, something you could white label.
Exactly.
But that doesn't diminish its importance and what it could do. Let's talk a little bit about that, like from an agency standpoint. What is that agency owner going to use this to do? Or maybe you could give a demonstration of maybe make a list or a simple demonstration.
Yeah, 1000%. So I'm gonna show you guys right now, like a video of it. So one of the biggest things agencies deal with is anything that has to do with cold emails, right? You probably do cold emails, you probably send emails, all these things, right? So that's one. The second thing that I've seen a lot of agency owners use it for has been analyzing results from any campaigns they've done, whether that's analyzing their cold email campaigns, analyzing their ads, right? Like all these things are things that typically happen in spreadsheets. And so this AI is able to take care of that whole process for you, right? Now, I do want to show you guys a video of it doing writing cold emails because I know that's one of the biggest things that many agency owners have been interested in. So here we have a lot of interesting job role and names, right? And this is Google Sheets. By the way, the app works in Google Sheets and in Excel, right? So here, if I
Okay.
tell it that for all the rows, right, use the name and job to write a cold message so that I can sell them my AI for spreadsheet tools. Now, here's the thing: these are mock names, right? These are not real, right? And we purposely made it this way. If we had real names, it would be completely different. But YouTube doesn't. YouTube is gonna take this video down if we had real names, because of privacy and all that. So I'm gonna send this, and we're gonna give the AI a chance to essentially look at the sheet and perform the operation. So what it's doing is deploying a sub agent that's going to write a personalized message for each person using their name and job role, outputting to column C, right? So here you have the cold message. And as you would see in a few, it's going to write it for each of them, right? You probably
Okay.
just have to wait a little second, but but you should see it happen very, very soon. So after it pretty much does it for this first guy right here, it would automatically run for all of them. So as you can see here, it's like, hey, Captain Spreadsheet, as the chief cell organizer, you know how to wrangle data into tidy rows. I built an AI powered spreadsheet tools that does all this for you. Would you be open to a quick demo? And so, as you can see, it did that for every single one of them. Right now, these are obviously all fake names, but as you can see, like, hey, Data McFace, as senior role shuffler, you know the right arrangement can save hours of elbow grease. Our AI powered, blah blah blah, right? So essentially, these are all personalized to this person and job role. In
Right.
your case, you could have a lot more data points. You could have job role, job description, LinkedIn description. I mean, literally, you can make your entire spreadsheet perform all these cold email things for you in seconds. And the best part, you don't have to remember any formula, right? As you guys can see here, I did not type a formula. All I typed was this. For all the roles, use the name and job to write a code message for me to sell them my AI for spreadsheet tools. That's it. And the AI agent took care of the entire request. That's it.
Wow, really cool. Now, where is the AI pulling this information from? Is it the web or knowledge base you give it, or what?
No, so essentially, the way the AI agent did what you just saw was it looked at the name, it looked at the job role, and we a sub agent is basically sending a message to one of the AI agents, one of the AI LLMs, right? So in this case, you've probably set which AI LLM you want to use, right? So in my case, it was one of the GPT models who wrote all of that, right? And all of that is able to be set in the settings of Sheets AI, right? You could go to the settings of Sheets AI and change which AI model you want to write any sort of content for you.
And could I have also in those instructions say, here's a knowledge base, or not?
Yeah. So if your
Okay.
knowledge base is, because think of like how AI typically works, right? They typically need, if you're gonna kind of direct them to a website, you want the website to be a .md, like a markdown file, right? And so if you did have a markdown file, you could give it to it. But in a case like that, of course, you would want to use an AI that has web search abilities, right? Those are more expensive, but they get the job done.
Got it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. Now, let's go over some of the things that people probably wouldn't associate your app with. Like, I didn't even know it could do images. You know what I
Right.
mean? So talk about that.
Yeah, so essentially, one of the main things for me was I wanted the app to be super multimodal, right? So essentially, we have the ability to do images, the ability to do videos, the ability to make music. Well, not music, let's call it TTS, so text to speech, right? We did have one for music in the past, but we just haven't used that in a long time. So I'm not sure it's still there, but definitely the images, the videos, and so when you think of images and videos, right, it's good for ads, right? So the AI can not only write the ad copy, but it can also generate the image for that ad copy, which is huge. But also, on the other end of things, the AI can actually, let's see, write the image for the ad copy. Oh, it can it can analyze images too, right? So let's say you have images of, let's say you're working on a website, because a lot of agencies are website building agencies, right? And you need alt text. The AI can actually connect, look at the images and create alt text for each of the images, right? Which is also huge. And lastly, the AI connects to the rest of your tool set, right? I don't have an instantly that I'm using right now, or else I would have shown you guys this perfectly. But just to kind of give you an idea of what kind of tools it connects to today. And funny enough, I'm having this call today, but within the next week, we're probably gonna 100x the number of tools we're connected to, because we just got like a really, really nice partnership. But if you look here and you click add integration, we connect with WordPress, WooCommerce, Neuron Writer, Data for SEO, Yahini. I mean, we connect with a lot of different platforms. So you could verify emails directly from your spreadsheet, right? You can send leads directly to your email company like Instantly, Smart Lead, whatever. And you could do Appify, which is like lead scraping. All of these are able to be done directly from Sheets AI, right? But in a few days, we're actually going to get access to even more tools, like hundreds of them, right? So you would even be able to, and I know a lot of you guys will love this, you would be able to connect to something like ICPs, which allows you to install, which allows you to search leads. Like, I want all the CEOs in LA, and it's gonna find them for you.
The Sumofied Agency Playbook is your cheat sheet for every tool we cover: AVS scores, agency use cases, integration breakdowns, and red flags, all in one place. Listen on the go or keep it open as a reference. Grab yours at sumofied.com/playbooks today.
Right? So it's kind of just to say, like, our goal is to kind of be like Clay, but in spreadsheets. At least for agency owners, that's the level of agentic that we want to be, right? Where it's like it's pretty much like Clay, but in spreadsheets, or like Claygent if you've used Claygent.
We were talking about images, and my mind was just like going crazy
Right.
because I'm just thinking about some of the applications. So, say you do Facebook ads.
Right.
You, first, you have your list of topic, and then you could do a bulk generation and just create them, right?
Exactly.
All right, now we've gone over some of the features. Tell me about some of the, well, maybe you already talked, the new applications that are coming. Anything else new coming down the pike?
Yeah, so the two main things I'm very, very excited for, because we've actually been focusing a lot more on revenue operators, such as salespeople, marketing people, all these people, right? The two main things I'm very, very excited for. Number one is definitely the new integrations we're going to have. I think that would make things a lot smoother, a lot better for every single one of our customers. But also, the biggest one is we would soon have automation. So what that would look like, let's say every Monday, you have to analyze and send a report to your boss or to your clients, whatever it is, right? A lot of agency owners, you guys have clients who you probably send a report every week about this is what's happening in your business with the ads we're running or all these things. With Sheets AI, you would now be able to, after doing it once, I always recommend you do it once perfectly with the app. You would be able to say, hey, can you automate this so it sends every Monday? And the AI would send it from your email, everything, every Monday, which is going to be huge because at some point, Sheets AI would be blessing you without you ever opening the app, right? And our goal there is to remove the barrier to entry of automation, right? You think of something like NA10, you think of something like make.com. All of these require significant amount of hours to set up versus Sheets AI can do almost everything they're doing in seconds, right? So, yeah.
Okay, David, thinking of AI being integrated in the app, as I recall, about maybe 3 months ago or so, there was some manual operation. Like the AI was not built into the app. What have you done to kind of remove that friction? Because I think that was the thing where I was like, oh, I'm not a Google Sheets person, spreadsheet.
Exactly.
It, I was kind of intimidated. So, what have you done to kind of remove that friction?
Definitely, great question. So actually, we did a few things. One of the main things was, well, one of the main reasons why it was super manual was because every tool that does anything close to what we're doing had that level of manual workflows, right? So as a result, the first few customers that we got were used to that, right? They were used to such a manual flow, and as a result, when they came to Sheets AI, even with the manual flow, because it was smoother, they all thought, oh, this is still great. This is still better than what we had, right? But it took me a second to realize that obviously customers don't have the time to spend. My customers are founders, they're agency owners, they are freelancers. I mean, literally, all these people are very strapped on time. So as a result, I thought, okay, how do I make it where they never have to remember anything? They never have to think of anything. They come on our platform and they immediately know, they type exactly what they would type on Claude or on ChatGPT. I mean, literally any other platform. And our platform takes care of all the thinking and knowing and doing. So what I did was I removed all the manual stuff and I taught the AI how to do it, right? For example, you guys just saw the demo of cold messages being written. Normally, you would have had to go in the cell and type. I'll show you guys what you were supposed to type, and then you guys already saw what it looks like now. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys what you would have typed. So right now, we made it just by typing this in the chat, right? For all the roles, use the name and job role to write a cold message. Normally, you would have typed this. You would have typed, and I would have taught you to type it too. Like I would have sent you a message and said you're doing it wrong. You have to type hashtag sigh.
Hmm.
You have to type write a cold message for me to sell this person my tool. And then you have to type hashtag A is the name and hashtag B is the job role, right? Now, here's the thing, when you understand it, like after you use it two or three times, you're actually, it's very easy to get used to, right? Because hashtag site, you use it to call the system, and a, any other thing that has a hashtag, it's really just to decide which column you're calling, right? So hashtag A, column A, hashtag B, job role. So a lot of people weren't really having problems with it, but when I started getting new customers, I immediately noticed that okay, something needs to change here, which is why I allow it now. You never have to remember hashtag sci. You never have to remember hashtag A. Really, you don't have to remember anything. You just have to remember what you want. And in this case, all you want is cold messages to sell your, in this case, AI for spreadsheet tool to each of these guys. And this AI is going to take care of doing it for you, right? So, yeah, this is where we are now.
Excellent. So you, in essence, you have removed the friction, right?
Exactly.
Um, going into the menu. Oh, what do I type? I mean, even in my case, I hadn't used it for maybe 2 weeks. I came back into the app. I was just like, okay, what am I supposed to do? So
Exactly.
now you just go into the chat bot and
You just go into the chat bar. And in the chat bar now we also have voice, right? So as a result, you don't even have to type. You could just like speak, right?
that's pretty good.
So it's like you could just speak to your spreadsheet, right? Like it's pretty nice, like what we're able to accomplish with it, right? Like for example, if I share my screen one more time, let's say I'm done with this sheet and I just pretty much want to, delete everything, right? I could just hold my space. I can either hold the space bar or I could just press this right here. But in this case, I'm going to hold the space bar just because it's easier. And I could just say, hey, can you just delete everything? Just clear the sheet for me, please. Okay. So no speech.
Of course, it didn't work.
No, literally. But,
Cut.
but essentially,
Cut.
it's crazy. It's like every time you're on the you're talking to people. But essentially I could do it here. So essentially what I want you to do is I want you to clear the sheet. Okay, so I don't know why it keeps saying no speech detected. I'm gonna figure it out later.
That's pretty good. That's excellent, actually. And when is that AI?
Oh, like the automation. So I believe after the integration should come out by the end of this week, right? Today is Monday. At least we're recording this on a Monday. But after that comes out, a week later, I'm estimating. So by the end of next week, we should already have the automation, at least the first version of them. Obviously, first version typically has like a bug or two that you have to kind of smoothen out after people use. But I would say that that would be the first things that we're gonna try to figure out. But yeah, by end of the week next week, we should already have automations in place.
Okay, so there you have it. Sheets X AI or Sheets AI. That's
Right,
much easier to say. Basically, it's a good tool if you're working with spreadsheets. You know, working with spreadsheets easier, as well as Google Docs, your Excel sheets. Give me the one liner if you're pitching to agency owner or just solopreneur, why you got to have this if you're in this world.
right. So that's a really good question. One line of question.
Maybe some with time saving or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
goal
That would be
productive,
the
something like
biggest
that.
thing.
So, yeah.
Like I could say something like, if you're an agency owner or solopreneur, you definitely have thousands of things on your to-do list. Out of that thousand, only 20% actually make you money. Spreadsheets are 9 times out of 10 going to be part of the 80% that don't make you any money, but it's a necessary evil. With Sheets AI, you could take care of the entire spreadsheet pipeline so you can focus more on that 20% that actually makes you more money. That's it.
Done
All right.
deal. It's a wrap, man. I tell you one thing about, I think that Sheets AI maybe might get a little bit of a, I don't want to say bad rap, but because it's just not sexy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got these other apps like C Lab or whatever on AppSumo,
Right.
and it's like, great interface and,
Exactly.
very image intensive, that nice UI.
Exactly.
You don't, this is like a behind the scenes type of tool, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like
you know what I mean?
this one stays inside of spreadsheets. So as a result, it even limits how much UI sexiness we can have, right? Like, because the app itself can be sexy. I mean, if you look at the app right now, compared to even before the AppSumo
Oh, that's
era,
true.
it's much, much like nicer looking.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, we're still in a spreadsheet. Like we're still in Google Sheets. We're still in Excel. So the sexiness is not even necessarily what I'm going for here. Although, if you look at 90% of other add-ons, like other Google Sheets add-ons or other Excel add-ons, we're still
mm,
sexier than 90% of them, right? Like we look good, but the one difference is obviously that we're in spreadsheets, so we can only perfect the design of our tool on the right side, but we can't touch how the spreadsheet as a whole looks, and that's like
got it.
that's the biggest thing.
Well, David, really appreciate your
Of
time
course.
talking about Sheets AI. Look forward to the updates, especially the advanced AI integration.
1,000.
And
Right.
we'll be cheering for you, man. I really appreciate the time.
Of course. Of course. Thank you so, so much. And yeah, that's it.